Yeah.
We're at the Hunterian Museum of the University of Glasgow, and right underneath here is a little memorial garden to people who lost their lives in the First World War. The building's very impressive. You can see poking its head up there is a perforated tower, which is very impressive, and this kind of rotunda kind of tower. Very impressive structure. University of Glasgow. Okay, so we're in the cloisters under the tower at Glasgow University. It's one of those special places, really. There's this whole series of arches and openings, and that one opens onto a quad, for example, and then if I swing around, opens onto another quad on the other side. So it's just one, as I say, it's one of those places which is good for the spirit. Courtyards at the University of Glasgow, and I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but that's the perforated tower up there, which is very attractive. I'll try and get a close-up of it. It's very attractive structure. And then I'll just take you around the rest of the courtyard. It's very interesting.
Gimli.
Holmesy.
Yeah.
An interesting sort of circular panels in the windows. And then over here, it more looks like the chapel there, doesn't it? Looks like the chapel, wouldn't you say, Bev, over there?
Yeah.
The spire over that. These are the stairs going up to the Hunterian Museum. In this just very elaborate sort of, you can see the crest over the door.
Yeah.
And the very beautiful sort of wrought iron banisters on the stairs. And there's the entrance to the Hunterian Museum with the silhouette of the man himself. Part of Hunter's collection, which he donated to the university, but they are all antiquities, which basically have been stripped out of sites in Italy and so on, so perhaps not so great. In the Hunterian Museum, and it's one of those astonishing buildings again with some galleries above and wooden ceiling, vaulted wooden ceiling, and then the displays along the edges here. Astonishing, really. This is the wooden ceiling canopy over part of the Hunterian Museum. And once again, just remarkable attention to detail and decoration. Only hoping that this is not a replica, but never mind, even if it is a replica. This is the giant elk, moose type thing. Yeah, it's absolutely, if that's for real, that is absolutely enormous. Probably from the hooves to the top of the horns, at least 10 or 12 foot high. It's incredible. This is in the Kelvin Grove Art Gallery and Museum in Glasgow. Suspended over the place is a Spitfire overhead. The amazing view of a Spitfire. Amazing if I don't fall over myself. There it is there. George Square in Glasgow. It's an amazing place with lots of sculptures of famous people, and then on the left here, I'll show you later, is a great big war memorial to the First World War, and this essentially is the, it's called, well, it's an administration building, but it's called City Chambers, but it's not legal. It's So elaborate, you would not believe all the sculptures, and inside marble and mosaics, absolutely, well, over the top to be quite honest, but stunning anyway. It's an amazing sculpture of James Watt in George Square, Glasgow. I'll see if I can show you what the rest of it looks like here. That's the statue of Albert, Prince Albert, and over there on the other side is Queen Victoria in Albert Square, in George Square. So there's Queen Victoria. Must have been quite a young girl portraying her on a big horse. And this is George Square. They're fixing up the Queen Street railway station over there. And then all of these sort of recreation type buildings, classical look buildings all around the square. Very busy square. And then we'll show you some more at the other end. At the center of the square is a column. The statue right on the top. This is a memorial to people who died in the First World War. On George Square in Glasgow. And on either side are these two lions. I'm in the City Chambers building just off George Square in Glasgow, and somebody's just walking in front of me, but that's the Glasgow coat of arms. And then the ceilings, as you see, all the tiles made into mosaics, and then the ceilings are mosaics as well. Very intricate tile patterns on the ceilings. And then these are the four virtues, these sculptures on either side of the entrance. Two there, and two on that side there. And quite, well, almost surprising, but you see it as soon as you come in if you're a South African. In the corner here, in this lovely little alcove, is the man himself, Nelson Mandela. Probably not the best representation of him, but close enough. So then this is off the main part of the City Chambers, which basically City Chambers is administration of the city of Glasgow, and an absolute festival of different kinds of marble in these panels with their ornate sort of mouldings and incredible glass doors down here. It's just, you know, for a southern hemisphere colonial, this is incredible. Although one has to bear in mind that this is it's a recreation. And then once again the mosaics on the floors is very ornate. And in the Glasgow Chambers with a remarkable marble staircase reaching up to the dome over the top. Still in the Glasgow Chambers, showing you the staircases and the ornate moulded ceilings, going up all 3 or 4 floors up to the skylight over the lot. It's absolutely breathtakingly ornate. This old building has been turned into the Museum of Modern Art in Glasgow, as is evidenced by the colourful mosaic. I don't know what it was before, but I don't know if it's deliberate or not, but there's a statue of the Duke of Wellington in front of the museum, and somebody's put a traffic cone on his head. Now, one can only assume that's deliberate. making fun of the old Duke of Wellington. Glasgow with two damsels holding up a bay window on this building here, and that bay window there is held up by another two damsels.
Gimli, ja.
This is the School of Art in Glasgow and has had a catastrophic fire and now is being propped up with 1,000 metal bars, presumably to stop the walls from falling down. That's the Glasgow School of Art after the second fire, and one can't get in there because there's just hoardings and cranes and things preventing one from getting closer. It's a pretty sad, crumbled, destroyed building really. We're on Sauchiehall Street in Glasgow, and this is the Charles Rennie Mackintosh tea room that he designed outside and inside for a lady who owned tea rooms all over Glasgow. And we have booked to have afternoon tea here. Apparently Mackintosh's style involved lots of verticals. You can see lots of vertical windows with like flower motifs at the top, and then more little vertical panes on the next layer, and little sash windows right at the top. And quite a nice sort of checkered border around the edge of the building. And then these little signs signify so there's a bit of a very interesting decoration just over the lower windows there as well. In the upstairs of the Willow Tea Room designed by Charles Rennie Mackintosh, and his designs are just everywhere, all around. You see the glass ball chandelier type thing, and then outside the front window, you see the chairs, carpet, and then on the tables you've got your menu and obviously willow pattern china to go with it, being the Willow Tea Room.
Ja. Gimli.